connecting Austin to Seattle.
We are Dos Amigas talking everything F1.
I'm Lizzet.
And I'm Amanda. Bienvenidos
a Circuitos y Chisme.
Yay! Okay, if you want more circuitosychisme.com. We have a website. Go to circuitosychisme.com. That's where you'll find everything. Our links to the long form podcast. We're on TikTok, IG, Apple, Spotify, and now we are on YouTube. So you can check us out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically episodes. Oh, go ahead, Lisa. This is yours.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all good. It's just we keep changing things a little bit around just because now we're finding that we have a little bit of time to record on Sunday. So if we record on Sundays, we'll put it out on Monday. If we end up recording on Monday, we'll probably post it the Tuesday or Wednesday following. So just expect something either Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Life be lifing, y'all.
Life is lifing so hard, Amanda.
So hard. I know. Actually, I should probably just say, so I'm going for the next 3 races. Lisa is going to have maybe guest hosts, or do you like solo hosting? Because I will be in Seoul and then I'm going to be in Japan, and it's just like too much of a time zone difference to try to
can't make it work.
Can't make it work. So yeah, you'll have different people, which is great.
Yeah.
And yeah, so more to come on that, but just FYI, life be life, and that's part of it.
Yes.
Okay, let's get into the Grand Prix.
The snoozefest.
Yes.
The snoozefest that it was. Yeah.
Yes. Such a snoozefest.
I don't know anyone that was like, wow, that was a really fun race. Like, it was just really boring.
Yeah, it really was.
The quali was more exciting than the race.
Yes. Well, okay, so I know that it was exciting from you, because I did not actually watch quali. Sorry, guys. I watched the first half, and then I think that's when the World Cup games started airing, and I was like, okay.
You're like, bye, gotta go.
Yeah. So this is hard right now because the Mundial is mundialing. And yeah. So I'm just going to be honest. I didn't watch quali, but you should talk about quali because you did, Lisa. Do you want to go and talk a little bit about that? Go.
Yeah. So, I mean, Q1, Q2 was whatever. It was whatever. But Q3 is where things got saucy.
That's where I should have started. I should not have wasted my time with Q1 and Q2.
You should have just skip to the end.
You told me to. You were like, there's a crash. Y yo de pendeja, I started at the beginning and then I lost. Then the Mundial came on and I was like, never mind. I was like, squirrel. Okay, so in Q3, I know in Q3, Max crashes, no? And then there was like a. Tell me about that.
Okay, so not much really was going on. Obviously, it was like the top teams were performing as they should. I think we were expecting Ferrari to come off really strong because they had all these upgrades. They didn't really show up too much during the practice because what I had read is that they were mostly testing their aerodynamics. They came with a power unit upgrade. And then the big topic of like the whole weekend was the temperatures, right? Like Europe is going through this massive heat wave.
Oh my gosh.
And then they were talking about how the tire degradation and the track temperatures, et cetera. We're almost wrapping up Q3. Literally like seconds, like, I don't know, maybe like a minute left, not even a minute. And Leclerc puts in this show-stopping lap, ends up P1, followed by Lewis. And it's Verstappen, George, Antonelli, and I forgot like the rest, but that was the order, and like they were trying to finish, their quali laps. And Max spins out. And I think one thing that I really he has these like cat-like reflexes where he always lands the fall in a really safe way, but you could tell he was going really fast out of that turn. I forget what turn it was, but he like literally just crashed into the wall. And I was like, holy crap. He crashed out. This is going to be like a yellow flag or a red flag. Cause it wasn't like a soft, hit. Like there was definitely contact against the wall. And of course, Russell was running his lap right behind him, he said he saw just, the single yellow, which it's not a double yellow. That means you don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
slow down as much. So he's like, I lifted. This is all post interview, right? But ends up so he gets to finish the lap and then ends up P1. And so everyone was already celebrating like Ferrari, like 1-2. I was, because we saw Leclerc finish and we were like, oh, redemption for like him crashing out in Barcelona.
Oh my gosh.
And then, seeing like Lewis like in P2, super exciting. So we were like, wow, Ferrari 1-2. We thought Verstappen was going to get P3 because his pace was seriously insane. And then he crashes out. George finishes. Kimi drops his lap because he thought he saw a double yellow. And so he just aborted the lap, didn't even finish. And so that's where all the controversy started coming in. Of course, after the quali, they were like, does that actually count? Like, is he
Oh.
going to get penalized because he didn't slow down? So they started doing all of this like analysis literally at the end of the race. Like, nobody else got to finish laps. So they just ended how they ended, right? In whatever position they landed. So I think that's why we also saw like a weird, maybe not weird, but like after like the first 5
Mhm.
positions, it was just
Mhm.
kind of like a little bit all over the place, but nobody else got to go again, right? They just had to abort their lap. Because supposedly too, what I had heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, like I think we would need to look into it, but apparently like after George got his single yellow,
Mhm.
everybody else saw a double yellow.
Oh.
So anyway, that was the tea. It was like super controversial, and I texted you. I was like,
I kn
crash, controversial quali.
and I was like, "Cool.
You're like, I'm not watching it.
Cool." No, I did, and then it was squirrel because World Cup matches. Yo, if
Yeah.
you're a sports fan right now, like, it's hard to have a life,
I'm
because yeah, like,
I
yeah,
love it
there's a lot going on.
though.
I do too.
I'm loving it. I'm loving
Yeah.
it. It was so
Um,
fun. It's been so fun. But yeah, so that's how the quali ended, and everyone was, I think the controversy, and Fred Vasseur immediately, like they like pan to Fred Vasseur. Of course, he like was going to go straight to the FIA, because I think the controversy isn't so much that George finished the lap. At this point, it's like, it is what it is. His pace was absolutely faster than Kimi's.
mhm.
It was faster than Leclerc. So he was going to get P1 no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think the question is why wasn't it immediately a double yellow or even maybe a red flag? Because the corner that took Max out is a really fast corner, and other drivers could have also had the same incident and
Yeah.
essentially crashed right back um, into Max. And it reminded me of the accident that happened with Jules Bianchi. I mean, granted, that was like
Mm.
race and it was
Yeah, yeah.
extremely tragic, but it was the same thing. That's why the virtual safety rules got invented. It was because there was a tractor, right, that was removing the
Oh,
car.
that's right,
It was
yeah.
and then Jules had an accident at the exact same turn, flew into the tractor. I mean, it was just like awful. It was an awful, awful
Yeah.
incident. And so I guess that's for the FIA, right? And again, the controversy with the FIA stewards is they're freaking volunteers, they're unpaid. I don't know who these people are. And so it's just kind of, that's the controversy I think that still stands.
Yeah.
It's not so much that George got pole, but now the topic around this is, why wasn't this like a, double yellow from the get-go?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, I was reading all the rules about like the yellow flag and the single and the double, because that's just how I am. I was like, if
I
you're
love
gonna
it.
come with an argument to me, like I need to understand like what the hell you're saying. So I was like reading the FIA fucking
I
rule
love
book.
that.
But at the end of the day, like I have to say, all the data backed Russell, what he was saying. Like he lifted the moment the incident happened. the data shows that there was like that dip in his speed, whereas like Charles
Mm,
Leclerc's and everybody else showed like the acceleration. His
mhm.
showed that he was like decreasing, but he was also going to go into a turn, so he was probably going to like show a decline in speed. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's
That's
really
the fun
fascinating.
that's the fun thing about F1 is that, there's always receipts.
There's always
There's
receipts.
always some kind of receipts,
I
which makes
know.
everything so interesting. Okay, so let's
I
talk
know.
about the race today. So that was the extent of perhaps the
Excitement.
excitement.
Yeah.
Actually, I have in my notes that the lap 1 was actually a pretty
Lap
great start.
1 was great. I think the first, like, 3 laps, maybe the first 5 laps, I think
Yeah, and
were
then
good.
around and we'll get to this, but, like, around, like, lap 25, um, when Sainz retired, like, shortly after that, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's the
I know.
extent of
What we're gonna get.
the of we're gonna work what we're gonna get." So,
Mhm.
um, just TLDR, Russell takes the win from pole, then it's Max and Kimmy, and there was just a lot, of like reliability issues. We'll talk about that for
Yeah.
Cadillac. And then obviously there's like a lot of um it was
Tire the
hot
tire
tire
degradation,
degradation.
tire management was,
Hmm.
I think the heat overall was also impacting power unit temperatures, so
Yes. Yeah,
impacting the
yeah.
reliability
Yeah.
conversation.
Soup's hot. Um
Yeah, how hot
and
was it? How hot was it? I know that the track, I think that we're recording was like over 50 degrees Celsius, which is like, I don't know, close
100.
to like 130, 140 degrees.
Yeah. Look at
Some
that. Look at that
insane.
calculation. Mira. I don't even know that. I know it was like over
I
like
don't know.
100.
Yeah, it's
Um
definitely over 100.
'Cause all on my like, related, but not, like, all on my TikTok, it's been all these, like, people in France, like, literally, like, "Oh my god, it's so hot here."
Yeah.
So that whole heat wave is kind of wild to see. Um, okay, so one other thing that I wanted to share, I noticed, and I've seen the internet have different takes, but Apple TV was playing with their angles. They had some, like, cool drone shots.
I
I
love the
think
drone
me
shots.
too, but there are people there was shit, I forgot. It was, like, already a meme or, like, a reel, and this, like, one guy was, like it was, like, a roller coaster, and he was, like, "Oh," like,
Uh,
nauseous, and I was like, I actually really liked it. I liked
I thought it was so cool.
seeing that yeah, I really liked the drone shot, and I like that, we're playing with, like, different camera angles. It kinda reminds me of, like,
100%.
when they first started, like, experimenting a little bit more with, like, the cameras, like, on the track,
On
so
the
you can,
track,
like, see
the
different
car's
angles,
like,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think that's really cool, because it keeps it's just, like, another, like, visual way to, like, keep interest in the
I
race,
think
so, like,
so.
good on Apple for, using them drones, baby.
I loved it. I thought it kind of gives you a better sense of the speed as well, because
Yes, yeah.
when you
Yeah, yeah.
see it flying over and then you see everything flashing, not that you can't with the current camera angles, the normal ones we'll call them,
Yeah.
but I don't know why. Like I think like the perception of the velocity for me just like came so much more clear with the drone shots.
Yeah.
And also I think one of the coolest parts of the race was we got that drone shot when Lewis and Max were battling it out,
Yes, I have that. I
and
love
you
that little battle.
saw the, like, little I don't know, we got such good angles there, I was like, I loved it.
Yeah, there were a
I don't
couple
know
of
why
different
anybody would like it, not like it.
there were a couple of different areas in the battle where, like, they did really they did some really like, him and Lewis were kind of going at it, and I was like, "Oh,
I loved it. Do you
I
think this
love to
is
see
gonna happen
this."
on every race, or was this something related with, like, Red Bull, like, being their home race or something?
I just think that, like, for Max, like, the car was good, like, he didn't have any, like, issues, so, like, when in my view, I feel like when Max has a chance to go racing, like, he's gonna do it, and, like, Lewis is not gonna be fucking giving up either, like, when they're both in, like, a good car, like, a good
I love
setup,
it.
and there's a chance to, like, go for it, like, they're absolutely gonna
They
do
go
that.
for it.
Yeah, so and let's not forget, like, these 2 have had, like, a testy
Beef.
th there's been, like yeah, like, there's been stuff there's I mean, they're like civil, but like they've had
Now,
like
they've
yeah,
had
yeah,
their
yeah.
moments.
Yeah, they've had their moments, and so, like, I don't ever think that they're not gonna get their elbows out, like, they're just yeah, so I love to see it, because neither of them have really had a chance to, like, go toe to toe with each other, like, in a long time,
Yeah,
so that was really, really, really great to see. Speaking on Lewis, I think I'm kind of going off track here on our outline, but ni modo.
yeah.
So lap 13, Lewis pits so early
I know.
and goes on hards. And I think that is where Ferrari's strategy just like what?
Well, it was like a really interesting I thought it was really odd that they put him on I understand why they put him on softs after the virtual during the pit, right? Because at that
Yeah,
point it was
okay.
like we want to gain some speed, we want to gain some, pace, but there was still so much time, so many laps left that I was like, great, now you forced yet another pit stop and I don't know. I still don't trust Ferrari's strategy.
Well, I don't think Lewis did either.
Yeah. This is the
And
first time
again,
that I
we
think
saw this
like
though.
the radio was kind of you could tell like he had his concerns with the team this weekend. I just don't think he was happy with the car in general. Like
Well, he goes, oh, fuck, I meant to write it down and I forgot. But he goes, like, he's like, wait, like, you guys told me to, they like box, and they're like, you told us, he's like, you told me too late. And they go, we
we
tried.
tried. Yeah, they were like, "Whoops, we tried."
I was like, we tried, baby. What? And this goes back to, okay, I think we talked about this last week with Emmy or the last race, but this is why I think Carlos Sainz at the end of his stint at Ferrari did so good is because he really started to just like be his own strategist and call
Yeah,
his own races.
he
Um,
had to.
yes, and I think that still the case. I feel like Lewis is gonna need to like be doing that, and then like Leclerc, I over the way. Um,
We could talk about Leclerc too.
yes, let's go ahead and do that. But like he also needs to like I don't know, just have more like of a voice because you did really see once Carlos started doing that, um, things were just like really like clicking for him, and that
Yeah.
he ended up leading on such a high note, and then now, I mean, he also like DNF'd, but which oh, pobre. I just like when Ferrari like has interesting strategies, I'm just always reminded of like how Carlos just like really took charge of that situation and was like, I'm not going to be the victim here. Like I'm going to call the shots or I'm going to take like an active role in like not just letting the strategy like happen to me.
Yeah.
And
He
I'm just
sort
like,
of
man,
like he had to become the person that makes like the final executive decision, quote unquote, right? Of
yeah.
like, I know you're
And then
telling me to do this, but I am going to go against this and I'm not going to do it. Or sometimes he would, but
yeah, and like ni modo, like if it works out, great. And if it doesn't work out, well, then that was my
it's on
call.
me
And like, yes, yes,
and
yes,
I'll suffer the
absolutely.
consequences for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
know.
Okay, let's talk about Leclerc.
I
What
think
do we say
he,
here? What do we say here? He
I
gave
know
a
this
rate. He
sounds
gave
mean,
yeah,
but
no, no, go for it.
I think he was kind of the biggest loser out of this race because he had P2 and finished P8, I think.
Girl, girl.
Six positions. And I know that the car just, the Ferraris, like, they didn't perform very well, like in general.
Mhm.
But I think he gave up like just too many positions and he was looking slow out there. I don't know what happened. I think I'd have to look more into like the post-race interviews to like understand like what the hell was going on with the car, but he drove
Girl, I think he
I
said
don't
in a
get it.
post-race interview, there's always a reason that I struggle. And I'm like, friend,
But
you
it's like
need
but everybody is struggling.
I know. That's why I'm like, you need to like
What's going
he needs to get his
on?
mentals together. I'm like, we can't have that kind of defeatist mindset.
In a Ferrari
I know, girl.
that just came with full upgrades. Like
I know. I was literally like, how do we go into like how do we go into the race um on like second and third
And
and
finish 8th.
end the race fifth and eighth?
I know. Yeah, it was a
And so
disappointing run for Ferrari today. And I was so
yeah,
stoked because I was like, "Ooh, power unit upgrades, aero upgrades." I was
yeah.
like, "This is gonna be great." But I do know that the power unit overheating, because this was another part of the race where I like the commentators are like, "What does TS stand for?" Because they told, Lewis to
Taylor
go
Swift.
on TS mode. Yeah.
And he's like, "What, mate?"
Yeah.
Oh, no, he
And
didn't say
and
what. He's
no,
like,
no,
"Why?" or something.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was like, "Why?" He's like, "I already don't have power." Like
power.
I'm already struggling with power. And they were like, "You're overheating, bro. Like you're gonna have to slow down whether you like it or not, or your engine might like explode."
My
Is
gosh. Which we
essentially
did
what
have
happened.
engine failures. So,
So many. Let's
yeah,
talk about those because they happened really early on.
I
Well, at
know.
least for the
Okay, so
Cadillacs.
yeah, so in lap 3,
Lap 3, Valtteri
both us, my brakes are on fire, and it's like, "What?" And then the
retired.
commentator's like, "We don't actually see anything."
Yeah,
But then shortly after he retired, and then back-to-back retirement with Sergio, saying that there was a fire, like, sorry,
in
other
his
one,
cockpit.
smoke in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Um, and so
And Liam
I
Lawson also reported fire in his cockpit twice, but never pitted. So
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what happened there.
maybe I don't know, he, like, peed on it? I don't know. I don't know. But I
We'll look
just
into this.
checking, checking. Let's do it like they tell, Isaac Hadjar, checking.
Checking.
Uh, um, I just do feel really bad for Cadillac. Like,
I
they
did too.
have had such reliability issues. I think, like, have they finished a race?
Not a
I don't
single race. No, I think Checo finished. Remember, he finished the one race
Yes, yes,
where he
yes.
was
He in the
almost going
point
to get in the
in the get
points, but then
points,
they
but
took
then
it away
didn't.
because he got
Yeah.
penalties. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was like 2, 3 races ago.
Yeah.
Um, and so I really feel for them. I think that I don't know. I don't know how as a team principal and as a team you kind of get out of that slump. I like to sometimes compare them to Haas because like I one Haas is just
Hmm.
one of like the most newer team since Cadillac has joined.
Yeah.
But also, like, they were also plagued by, like, so many gremlins. I mean, it was like a whole storyline on DTS with Gunther kind of, like, trying to figure this shit out. But,
Yeah.
like, what I think contrasts for me with Cadillac is that, how am I gonna articulate this? Haas had, like, money issues, right? Like,
Tons.
there
Yeah.
was
The
only
financial
so many
backing.
the financial piece was a huge constraint for them.
Yeah.
So you can kind of, like, understand
I mean, and I
why.
feel like they still are like a true underdog when you look
Yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
brands. I think,
Pero
but
yes,
they've
but
worked their way.
they're outperforming Cadillac, who has like all this financial backing, all this
Yeah.
infrastructure, and I'm just like, I siempre van y cagan el palo. Like you, like how do you like get team morale out of this? Like how do you take like the learnings from this going forward? Um,
Yeah.
so like I really had like a lot of high hopes for Cadillac. And so
I did
one
too.
last thing that I will say before I let you kind of talk about this too, but like I think too, it's like the team dynamic of like this fucking blows, right? That like you're not even finishing races, you're not even getting the data that you need to build.
Improve.
Yes,
To
because you're
improve.
not fucking finishing. And then from like a
Yeah.
market perspective, like this is a chance for like another US based team to like really like capture market interest and capture fan interest and like you can't really get fan momentum when you're not fucking finishing races. So I also am like this is like a twofold maybe I'm like maybe I'm like making like a mountain out of a molehill, but I'm like, to me, this is kind of like such a I don't want to say it, but like it's such a flop season so far for them because there was like anticipation and then like I don't know, like if we're just talking about the merch, like the merch kind of sucked, except for
I
Miami, which
know.
there were some we talked about this, there were some pieces, but I'm like, I expected so much more. Um Anyway, I just like all around, I'm like, ah, I really wanted so much more, and I wanted so much more for Checo and Valtteri as like these great drivers that they are, and that I don't know, I just
I think for
it's just such
me,
a letdown.
that's the
Yeah,
hardest piece is, I know that both of those drivers came into this knowing full well, like, this was gonna be a not great season, like, they were not gonna be competing in the midfield right away, right? But I think they expect to see better progress. Like every single team, same with like, this is the same sentiment that I've been having with Williams. It's like you are a recognizable name. Obviously, Cadillac is not as well established, but they have the people. They have hired some like top staff at Cadillac
yeah.
and you just expect them to do better. I was actually very excited for Austria because Cadillac came with upgrades and Checo did this interview and he was like very excited about the upgrades. He's like, I think we're finally going to start getting into the midfield. And for me, that's an indicator that their expectation is that they're probably not finishing in the points, but they're finishing and they're finishing in like 11th, 12th, maybe fighting for that 10th position, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then to consistently see these like constant DNFs. I think Checo has been the only one that has gotten to finish. Valtteri has not finished a single race this
And
whole
he's such a
season.
good driver. Like, let's
He's
not forget, y'all,
such a
he
good
was
driver.
Lewis's
He was
teammate,
his wingman.
and like that's how they won all those constructors championships because
Yep.
when Lewis was getting first, Valtteri was fucking right behind him,
Yep.
consistently always getting second. Um,
Always getting
and
points still.
yeah, don't yeah, I don't
Yeah. So it's
you
really
yeah.
sad. It's really disappointing. I really hope that this is like a weird, like perfect combination of like upgrades. The temperatures were just really hot. This is also a racetrack that has a lot of incline and in like a decline. So like your engine and like your gears are just gonna like you're just exerting a lot more
Yeah.
demand from your power unit.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
know this because I live in a very hilly area and the moment you hit, like, you know, your engine is just working so much harder. But and then with the heat, like, I don't know. I hope by next race we get to see maybe what the Cadillac actually is bringing with their upgrades. Same for
Yeah.
Ferrari. And honestly, for me, like the biggest disappointment is Williams this whole season. I love Williams. Those drivers are I mean, they all have such a strong work ethic, but like Alex Albon has put in sweat and tears into that team. Carlos moved to that team expecting progress, right? And he's a top driver. Um, I think Williams is absolutely risking losing both of them for next season. Neither of them have confirmed that they're going to be at Williams. I've heard
Mhm.
rumors that Alex Albon is trying to leave. Rumors have it that Audi is potentially talking to Carlos Sainz because Audi has a relationship through Carlos's dad.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and so I don't know. Like, I think we should expect a silly season when it comes to like all the changes with the drivers. But yeah, I think for me, I just feel bad for these teams. Like Aston Martin also has been like shit,
I
right?
feel less bad for them.
I mean, you know how I feel about Lance Stroll, but at the end of the day, like you want a competitive season. You want
Yeah.
a competitive season, and I just don't think we're seeing it from. At least we didn't get 60 DNFs this time. I think there were only
There was only
four,
3 or 4.
three.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think so.
So
So that's good.
progress, I
Yeah.
guess. But
Yeah. Um, okay. So going back to speaking of DNF. So Carlos Sainz what lap was this? It was a yellow flag.
let's
Lap
see.
25. His car retires conveniently like pretty
Mm-hmm.
close to pit lane. Um So yeah, there was you just going back to like your
Yeah.
reliability issues that happened for Carlos, which always sucks.
I think
Um,
all of the excitement happened, it looks like, according to my notes, yeah, just
according to
like
my notes.
between, laps 1 through maybe lap 24. And yeah, after that virtual safety car,
Yeah,
like, it got really boring. And the I mean, everyone was just kind of, managing tires at that point.
yeah.
McLaren was also kind of a flop. This whole race was just kind of a flop.
Well, McLaren's having a flop.
Yeah, and Piastri was
Period.
very I really like Oscar is just like, "Meh, whatever." But his interview was like, "I don't really know that we have any strengths this season in comparison to the rest of the teams."
I love that he's not media trained. Like, I love that he
I
just like
love
says
it.
whatever the fuck because I'm like, thank you. But I will say, okay, so yes, kind of for me after lap like 25, 30, I was like, okay, this is kind of set.
Yeah,
Um, I do think, George cruises off kind of into the sunset. I don't think there was really any
definitely.
challenging for him. So he won with like a pretty comfortable margin. Um, but I do think we saw some like really good, obviously good driving coming from Max and from
Yeah.
Kimmy. At the start though, Kimmy was like way
Going
off track,
crazy. Lawnmower
sending
again.
it. Yes, I was like, okay, baby,
He couldn't manage the car.
send it, little man. He's such a young guy. I'm just like, of course, he's just like, "Meh, I don't, me vale."
My husband and I were kind of like giggling about it. They're like, "Oh, there goes that!" Like, and you just saw him driving off track and then
Yeah,
getting back.
so were Wally and I. He was like, okay, like gives no fucks. And I love that
Zero.
energy. But
I know.
they both did like really great getting to the P2 and P3 positions that they finally landed in.
Yeah.
Like
And
he
and Kimmy again, like he came up so close. I think like if they would have had maybe 2 more laps or something, I think he would have passed Max. He just ran out of
yeah,
time.
he
But
ran out of
he
time.
he cut that gap so fast.
Mhm.
And actually Max also cut the gap to George pretty quickly. Again,
Yeah, yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like you just run out of time, but they both like, yeah, they had excellent races and
They really did. And I love to see that kind of driving
I do
from
too.
both of them.
I do too.
So that they kudos to them. Actually, I didn't really pay attention to the midfield or the end. Do you have any comments on? Yeah, you're good.
Isaac had a really good I think Isaac, I've just been really impressed with him. I think that we mentioned this in the previous podcast too, that we just are really happy that he seems to be breaking that second seat curse. I think he definitely
Yeah.
finished in the points. He overtook Charles, battled Charles a couple times, overcame.
Hmm.
He ended up higher in the points and position sat than Charles did.
Yeah.
And I just think that I think he's really finding his way of driving. Um, yeah, I'm really impressed with him as a rookie. Like, and he's not really a rookie anymore, right? This is like his second
Yeah.
season. But yeah, he did surprisingly well, and the Racing Bulls have been doing really, really well. I know that we haven't really talked
Yeah.
much about them in our previous podcast, like at all, but they are cutting into Alpine's best of the rest. They both finished in the points. Lawson, who was not my favorite, had a really good race
He
too.
did. Yeah.
He did.
He's not my
Arvid,
favorite either, but I will admit when he does well. And I think that
yeah,
his I don't like him. Pero I think that he really I admire that he got his, like, mentals together after
yeah,
getting demoted because I
demoted,
think for
yeah.
other drivers, that would have, like, really made them spiral and, like, crash out, and maybe he did, but, like, he's showing up with a much better level of, like, I think, professionalism, and I don't like him, y'all, but, like, I was like, "You know what? You're handling that really
He
well
is,
considering how bad that was, and you're actually doing really good in the seat that you're in." So, like,
yeah.
I think it's probably like the best case scenario for him, but also I want to like acknowledge that like that took a lot of like inner strength for him to get himself right to be able like to go back and like perform well.
Yeah,
Because that was humiliating for him.
I know. And I think Arvid is also a really great driver. So I don't think like Liam is not 100% safe because Arvid does have really great performances too. Like he's
Yeah.
been putting in some good races. Like he's still, you could tell he's like learning and trying to understand and manage the car. But I think he's such a strong driver also. So I don't think it's just like clear cut for Liam that he's always going to be the number one driver on that team. But yeah, he did have a good race. He's been having good races and just gotta acknowledge it, you know. He could not be he's not our favorite driver, but he's doing a great job. And then the Alpines are the ones that now are like having to ensure that their consistency stays up if the Racing Bulls are now catching up to them on
Yeah.
points. So we'll see. But I think Gasly has really carried that, especially with the win in Monaco. Like that was just so many more points. Which, by the way, let's talk about the Monaco debacle that is still ongoing. Like later,
Yeah.
we can get to it a little bit later, but I can't believe that is still going on.
Um, let's talk about it then, because we're gonna go into some off-track cheeseman because the race wasn't that
Yeah,
exciting. And so we're
yeah,
done with race recap because I don't really know what else to say anymore. But there was a lot of like drama, kind of off track, which is really interesting. But let's
yeah,
talk about Monaco. Do you want to go? And then we can kind of go back up to the other topic.
yeah. So obviously after Monaco, all the like speeding in the pit lane
Oh yeah, yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Pierre Gasly got reinstated in P3. He finally got the trophy from Hadjar. I
Hajar was like
think
from my cold dead hands.
yeah, but then he's like, "Fine, here you go,"
Here
and
you go.
finally made its way to Pierre. But McLaren and Red Bull still are. They're gonna push all the way through with this whole FIA appeal. It's like an appeal to the appeal. Um, and so I actually don't know when that's gonna resolve, but this might still have an impact further down. We don't
Yeah.
know if Pierre is going to get to keep his P3, which is crazy. Can you imagine? Like, has this happened before? I need to do some research. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know. Well, well, okay, I don't think this I don't I'm pretty sure that this particular case has not happened before with like all the
Yeah.
speeding in the pit lane. I can't really think of like an example where like it's gone this far out. If
Multiple.
anyone
Yeah.
is like an F1 historian from like, 2020
Share the deets.
the 2020 maybe before. If you guys remember that, like
Comment.
share because I don't remember. I have like the
I don't
mind of a
remember
I have the memory
either.
of a goldfish. Um, but yeah, if like there's someone that knows, like let us know because I would love to know those examples.
I want to know what's
Um,
going to happen. And then it was
yeah,
really interesting that Mercedes, like, just were like, yeah, we're not pursuing it. Which makes me wonder, like, if they pursued it knowing that it wasn't gonna go anywhere because they served their penalty. I thought it was interesting
yeah.
that they filed it to begin with, and then they, like, really quickly retracted it, so I don't know. I thought that was really weird, and I also haven't I feel like the reason why it surprised me is because Toto is very, like, these guys know the rules back and forth. They know exactly when it's advantageous to do something and when it's not.
Yeah.
And so it seemed really odd to me that they would go as far as making a statement saying they were going to file, their like appeal or whatever, or review of like the situation with George, and then like really quickly backtrack it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that was odd. That was weird.
Yeah.
So that's where we are with Monaco. It's still a thing. We don't know how it's going to end or when it's going to end, but it's still a topic of conversation.
We'll be talking about it for the next couple weeks probably.
Mhm.
Okay, now back to like FIA just like as a governing body. So,
Ugh.
FIA term limits were obliterated this week.
A
Um,
90% vote.
yeah. Um, so this basically means that my favorite person, IBS, Mohammed bin Sulayem, He's not my favorite person, and I like to call him IBS because he gives everyone an upset tummy with his creep.
Yeah.
He basically is like forever
He's
instated
forever.
at yeah, like we
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Who
This
I need to look up who is voting on the governing body because what?
yeah, all I can say is that I think that this is
It's
bad
a bad
news
decision.
bears
Yeah.
for the sport as a whole. I think this is such a terrible decision. Um, yeah, this is just bad. I
It's
don't
not
think this is
good.
gonna. It's yeah. So there's that. Um, yeah, I'm really upset that like no one really stood up to him to block that. Um, Maybe he has, like, dirt on everyone. I don't know. This sport gets real dirty real quick. You never know what someone has on someone
I
or, like, why
know.
they're voting a certain way. Um,
Politics, money. It's like
yeah,
FIFA.
corruption. Yeah, yeah, I was just gonna make that
It's like
comparison.
FIFA.
Now that we have the Mundial and, like, F1 kind of going on at the same time, I'm reminded of how corrupt these institutions are and how similarly they operate in a lot of ways. And it's very much giving FIFA. So yeah, there's that. And then um rumors of Max going to McLaren again.
It's because
And
Zach's always simping after him.
Zach's always
And
simping after him.
I mean, I think out of all the other teams that could potentially maybe give Max a long tenure of a good stint, right? And improvements on the car, McLaren
Yeah,
have proven themselves to be able to have like good good upgrades.
yeah.
I don't know. Did Toto like officially confirm George?
I don't know. I don't
It's
think
been
anyone really has.
unofficial.
But you and I were talking about this the other day of like was it like we were messaging each other and you were like who left from Red Bull or who's leaving that you were like this confirms.
Oh, the engineer,
Yeah.
technical engineer. What's his name here? I had it written somewhere. But anyway, like people are like Red Bull is bleeding talent right now. This whole year, GP is leaving. They've lost all their top engineers to McLaren. Rumors that Hannah Schmitz was going to leave to Ferrari. And
Yeah.
now, what is his name?
Let me look. I'm trying to
Paul Moynihan is the chief engineer for Red Bull. And it's not 100% officially confirmed, but it's said that he's going to
highly
move
speculated.
to Cadillac.
Mm.
Um,
Vaya con Dios.
yeah, I was like, they need it. They need a good
They
engineer,
need some
but
help. Yeah.
everyone. So yeah, so let's see. So Adrian Newey obviously went to Aston Martin, and I don't know what happened there because that car sucks. Um, Will Courtney and Rob Marshall are now both at McLaren, and now GP's moving to McLaren.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, they have the money. McLaren has the
Hmm.
money. They have really great engineers, people that Max knows,
Yeah.
people that were probably there and helped build up to what Max is now. So I don't know. I just think that there's some serious like culture issues going on at Red Bull. I just think that for that much top talent to leave, there must be some like really toxic stuff going on like at the
Yeah.
organization.
Well, I'm surprised too because like I thought the most tóxico que ya no está ahí is Christian Horner, but
Christian
you still
Horner.
see this like exodus. So anyway, that's interesting. Other chisme from off the track was Fernando and Carlos talking about
Yes.
cost caps. You're the one that spotted this.
I think they're stirring the pot. I think they're trying to open up a conversation on maybe like how the top teams are. They gave some commentary of like how they're just really surprised. Like, how are other teams bringing in so many updates? Like, how can they
Mm-hmm.
afford it? Like, whoa, poor us, poor little teams. Like, we can't afford these upgrades. Like, how are they doing it?
Yeah.
And they did say like the cost caps are hurting us. He's like, how are the cost caps not hurting them? And that's a great question from
Yeah.
the Españoles. I mean, we know
Yeah.
Fernando's always been like he's always a salty man. But Carlos tends to be, a little bit more like measured and stuff, but he was making comments around the cost cap. So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
We'll see. Maybe someone will open up an investigation the way they did with Red Bull, remember a couple years
Girl,
ago,
you know that's why
that they
they're doing that.
that they overspent on catering.
Yeah. That was such
What
a
were y'all eating?
caviar and lobster, which they do serve in the paddock. Pero, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's like the off-track drama. As
Mhm.
the standings are now, so Kimi Antonelli is in first still for the drivers championship with 171 points.
Yep.
George Russell is second now with 131. Lewis is in third. Oh my God, I'm just so happy to say that. Even though we didn't have the
I
race result that we
know.
wanted today, I'm still happy that
I know.
he's like in the contention or in the contention. Yeah. With
Yeah.
125, followed by Oscar with 80, Lando with 79, and then
And
Leclerc
then Max.
also tied at 79. So, and then Max with this latest podium at 73. And let me just say, like, I am not like a Max fangirl, but I didn't hate seeing him on the podium. I was like, okay, get in
I
there.
know.
If my man's not going to be up there, like, cool, that
He's
sounds
a great
great.
driver. Like, he's a good driver. Like, I hate how good he is, but he's just
I know,
really
I hate how
good.
good he is too,
He
girl. I'm
was
like,
like
ugh.
he was born to drive. And I will say, like, I would be sad if he is not in the sport next year, but it also sounds like he's just kind of a little over it, you know? Like, he does
Yeah,
seem a little over it. Even though like the Red Bull car is looking great. I mean, look at the finish today.
yeah,
I feel like he's a little tapped out.
yeah. I hear you too. That we were talking about that. I was like, I don't know if he will leave. I think
The
he'll like
sport.
he might leave F1, but like I think we would see him driving in other things, and I think that would be such a boon for whatever other racing category he ends up going to because like for
The Nuremberg ring.
he brought like so much viewers to that. And
Yeah.
he's just that he has proven that he can drive the shit out of any car. Um, so okay, upcoming races is going to be
Silverstone,
Silverstone.
which is a
Yes.
sprint race, which will be great.
Yep. And then we'll have Belgium and Hungary coming up. So we're like very firmly like in the European stint of the races.
Yeah. And then another one that's coming up that's new this year is the Madrid Grand Prix.
That's right. Oh my
That's
gosh.
new. So
Yes.
that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. What else?
Madrid will
Yeah,
be a street track, no?
I think so. I was a little concerned because a couple of weeks ago, Carlos was on social media doing like a race preview lap, like he was driving around, and it looked like they were like in a corporate park. I was like, where in Madrid exactly is this?
That's so funny.
It looks lame. But
Oh.
I'm sure it'll be great. But they hadn't finished the racetrack when he was like driving through it, and I was like, huh,
Oh,
interesting. Interesting. Watch it be like
okay.
Vegas. Like, remember the first race in Vegas was like kind of a
Oh,
disaster?
here's why it looks different. Sorry, I was just Googling. It's using both public roads and private land.
Oh, yeah, because it looked really like a little weird. Just like the
Yeah.
layout of it and like where it was situated. It looked really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that might be street circuit and permanent setup. Blech. It'll combine a street circuit and permanent setup feel.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's interesting. I guess it'll look like kind of like Miami. Um, like where like they go through
Yeah. Part of the
um
city and then it's like a little
mhm,
bit
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. That'll be fun.
Cool.
Um I think the only last thing that I wanted to do a shout out is I know we're both like stalking Mishy Fishy.
Girl.
We didn't talk about her beautiful Barcelona pants.
Oh,
And then she did the
okay.
Austrian, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Like their Austrian.
Yes. Okay. Also, our favorite designer girl, she did a whole video in German.
I saw that.
I was like, "Girl,
Excuse me?
what can you not do?" I'm obsessed with her. Okay,
I know.
rewind. There's this girl that we follow, another content creator on El Tikitokis. I think she also has Instagram, but we mostly follow her on Tikitokis. Mishi
Mhm.
Fishy is her username,
Yeah.
and she made these pants. Like she took these like cargo pants, and like hand painted them with like
La Sagrada Familia, which is
yes,
intricate AF.
yes. And what else did she do? She just did like other like landmarks from Barcelona.
Yeah. And did the car, the F1 car, like she sort of built in the racetrack in the back.
Yeah, so good. And
So
then
good.
for Austria, she did like a traditional, I guess, like Austrian dress. And she like stitched this like bodice.
She
I don't know.
handmade every
Yes.
piece, custom made, stitched this beautiful like corset, attached the skirt with a cute little apron.
Mind you, she also has a full-time job as a software engineer. And
I know.
I'm like, girl.
I
She
was
did say she did tell me that
cackling.
I messaged her and I was
Yeah.
like, "Girl, how?" And
How?
she did say that she like this is like her like creative like expression. And I think in a video she also mentioned that like this is a way for her to like creatively like explore
Find the
different things, which like
joy.
I'm like, which like what a way to do that
I
because
know.
yeah, I don't know. I'm always I love what I love about her creations is that she really stretches the type of like clothing that she's going to attempt every time. So like for China, she made this like
Beautiful skirt.
special like traditional like Chinese
Chinese
skirt and
skirt.
then for Miami, she like crocheted. Look, it's not like she's taking the same like t-shirts and like cutting them, which is a very beautiful art form too, and a lot of creativity there. But she's truly like pushing like I guess like a different medium every time and like
Yeah.
learning like an entirely new like
She didn't know
um
how to
s-
crochet before she crocheted the dress and then crochets a full on fucking dress
I
with
know.
beautiful details. I was like, who is this amazing human? Like her capacity to create is just
I
so fun
know.
to watch. It's
Yeah,
so
I'm
fun
glad
to
that you shouted
watch.
her out because I was
I love
she's
it.
incredible. There's so many others too that do like
I
really cool things,
know.
but I just think that like the fact that she tries like a new I'm gonna call it a medium because I
It
don't know
is a
what
new
else to call it.
medium.
Like that she tries something new every single time is just so cool and like she learns how to do this shit like in like 2 weeks or like a week. Um
I don't even
I don't
know how
know.
she does it. I
Yeah,
don't know how
she's
she
pretty
does it.
incredible. She's pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
because we, like her, work in corporate America and are also just trying to increase shareholder value.
No, that's all I be doing.
We feel you, Mishi Fishy, and we love your content. And some days I'm like, should I try watercoloring? You're inspiring me, Mishi Fishy, to buy a coloring book or something. That's the best I can do.
Yeah, that's the best I can do.
I ain't
Um
creating.
Okay. Yeah, she's doing great.
Follow
I'm really
her.
curious. Yes,
Awesome
follow
content.
her. Can't wait to see what she makes for Silverstone. I wonder what she's
I
gonna
know.
do. I know.
Mishi, tell us. What are you doing?
Yeah. Come on, slide into our DMs, girl. Tell us what's up. Um, okay, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We've talked a little bit how the F1, how F1 is
Oh,
going on, and the Mundial is also going on at the same time. And some there's like some cross interesting things here.
yeah.
Lisa and I were watching the partido with Mexico, and who was it that we were like chatting about this? Who they last play? Ah, se me olvidó.
¿A quién le ganamos 3-0? Ya se me olvidó.
I know. Oh gosh. I told you all I have the memory of a goldfish. Anyway, we
Same.
were watching the Mexico match, and part of the funny
Los
part.
Checos. How could we forget?
How could we forget?
Okay, y'all.
My
We're going to get into this, but Amanda and I were like, we thought Checo was at the stadium because the commentators kept saying Los Checos. And they never panned to Checo. And I was just kind of like, oh
like
my God.
where
There's memes about it.
But they were talking about the
The
checks.
checks.
Also, we were watching this on Telemundo, which if you're watching the Mundial,
It's the only
don't
way to
waste your
watch it.
time on Fox Sports because no, the only way to watch it is on Telemundo. And anyway, they kept referring to Los
Los
Checos, and we're
checos.
like, what the fuck? And I was like, they were playing in Mexico too, and it
Yeah,
made
which
total
was like
sense
in
that
Guadalajara because he's from Guadalajara, and I was like, Checo's there.
like he totally could be there because why? You know, he's so
Yeah.
proud, and he has this whole like
Yeah.
jersey that is like a thing, part of the
The
selección.
selección. Yeah.
And anyway, um, we were talking. So anyway, we were like F1, los checos, ¿dónde está Checo? No estaba ahí. But a la mejor sí, he was there, but no lo vimos.
Yeah.
And then they were talking, all the commentators have these apodos, aka nicknames, for all of the Mexican players. And we kept laughing because one of them is El Piojo. And I'm like, what a name to have for, like, you're on this like massive stage. What a name to have.
Global.
Piojo means like flea, lice.
Lice, yeah.
And then another one is like, that's like the worst one, but another one is like el machine, which is like, okay, that's good. Like you're a machine.
That's a machine one, yeah.
So then I was like, Lizzet, let's have AI make apodos for the grid. So I had Gemini
Mexican
make
apodos.
Mexican
Or
apodos.
Latino apodos.
No, I told Gemini to do it like in the estilo de Mexico.
De Mexico?
So yeah.
Nice.
And so here's the thing about Mexican apodos. I don't know if other Latinos do this. No creo que sí. But like
they do.
They do. Okay, so it's a Latino thing. So the Latino thing is that it's because you're married to a Chilean, so you know more. I'm married to another Mexican, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And so for apodos, like your apodo is like your worst insecurity or like something que vamos a burlarnos de ti. So
with love, but with love. It's like they always do it in a loving way. Like if you get a nickname, it's because they like you. Even if the nickname is insulting.
Listen, okay, so
we're complicated.
My husband might kill me for this, but his nickname growing up used to be El Gordo or Gordo, and he's not anymore. And I was like, do you think that ayer we were watching the Colombia partido, and I was like, do you think that your mom would ever like call you like El Flaco now or Flaco? And he was like, no, I'm always Gordo in her mind.
My husband's nickname was Harry. They used to call him Harry for Harry Potter because he was a nerd and had long hair and glasses.
Oh, poor Pablo. El Harry.
El Harry.
Okay. So
he's going to listen to this. Maybe.
I know. They're both going to listen to this. They're going to be like, we hate you both. Okay, we're going to go into the nicknames. And some of them are better than others, but we'll just dive into it.
We thought it was funny.
So for Max, they gave us El Play, short for PlayStation, because he's always
gaming. He's on the damn
gaming
sim.
Or he's on like The Sims. And then this was the best one for our content. Because the next one is George Russell, and they gave him El PowerPoint. And this fits perfectly with our corporate snitch persona that we have for George Russell. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, that one was really good.
My Gemini really knew me very, very well. And then another one that kind of took us out, Oscar Piastri, they gave him El Muerto because of his facial expressions that lack emotion. Yeah. Whether he is winning a race, he always looks like a cold stone statue. There is zero pulse detected.
Oscar, we love your deadpan humor. It's hilarious, but that's a good one. That's a really good one.
And then for Leclerc, El Salado, which means you're salty.
He is a little salty though.
But we also said this could be for Fernando. Anytime they talk about Lewis, that he could also be El Salado because he's always throwing shade at Lewis because Lewis lives like rent free in his mind.
So annoying.
I know. I'm like, get over it, bro. ¿Qué más? Valtteri Bottas is El Encuerado, which means he's always naked, which
Valtteri loves. He loves
being naked.
Doing naked things.
Siempre. It's like once he got
out of Mercedes.
Divorced, once he got divorced and out of Mercedes, like he is in this like naked.
He's a new man. He's a new man.
I mean, maybe it's like a Finnish thing. If there's like Finns over here, like are y'all just always naked? Like what's going on?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe. And then
Mm.
for Fernando Alonso, okay, we have 3. So it could be el salado when he's salty, but then mine gave me el suegro, the father-in-law, because he's basically older than all of his competitors and just sits in the corner judging everyone. And he will absolutely lecture you if you park your car incorrectly on his grid. And then yours gave a better one.
El fósil. Oh, sorry, Fernando. We're like not that far apart in age, but you're old, man.
Yeah. Pues
He's older.
se ve viejito. He needs
Se
to
ve
put
viejito.
like some
He needs sunblock.
he needs a skincare, a skincare.
He does. He does.
And then the other one, the Argentinos, let us know if this is accurate, but this is what Gemini gave us for Franco Carlo Pinto, el chamullo, which apparently in Argentinian slang is like a smooth talker and a charmer. And that is accurate because the boy has Riz. I love
We
him.
love Franco. We love Franco.
love
He's
you.
so charming. I had another. I also asked mine because mine thinks so. My AI thinks it's like a sassy Walter Mercado. Like I don't know why mine is so sassy, but it always gives me some pizzazz. For George Russell, it was el quejetas.
El
That he's
quejetas.
que siempre se queja de
Quejada.
todo.
You know what? Yours has more cultural context. You know?
I thought that was really funny. He called Max Verstappen's el berrinchudo because he's like grumpy, siempre haciendo sus berrinches.
Mine did that for Yuki Tsunoda, el berrinche.
El berrinche. Oh yeah, that one was good.
That was the next one. Okay, and then for Lance Stroll, el Junior, because ultimately the ultimate literal neighborhood name. Everyone knows exactly who his dad is and why he's on the team and why he's on the grid.
Yeah. Like you don't need to be there, but we know why you're here.
Yeah, and then some other ones. Carlos Sainz, el copete, obvio.
Obvio. We know why.
Obvio. We know why. And then for Pierre, it gave us el selfies because he's always
on social media.
He takes really good selfies. He really
does.
Yeah. Did yours
He's
give you any
show
other
up.
ones?
He's got to show off that hair. The new hair.
The new hairline.
The new hairline. I thought Charles's was really funny because his was el plantado, meaning like Ferrari keeps not delivering and yet he stays.
Could be the same said for Leclerc.
Yeah. That's el plantado. Yeah, that was for Leclerc.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, el plantado, because Ferrari nunca le cumple is what it says.
Oh, shit.
I was like, and then it's funny because Oscar's came back really similar to yours, but his was el fósil vivo because he tiene cara de palo, like he just doesn't have expression.
Oh, I loved this. That was so good.
It's so funny. I know.
So,
these are really funny.
That ends our segment, Apodos a la Mexicana.
Yes, said with love. Always with a lot of love.
With love. And out of good fun. You know, whatever.
It's
it was
fun.
Funny.
I know.
It's funny.
I love Telemundo. Also, just shout out to Telemundo. Thank you for keeping El Mundial so exciting.
Yes.
The only good thing about Fox is Zlatan. If it wasn't for Zlatan and Zlatan's hate and shade, honestly, like I've watched zero Fox Sports, but I catch it on TikTok.
Yeah, and he's great.
And he's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, we like Zlatan.
Okay, so coming up it will be Silverstone. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on all the socials. You can find us at circuitosichisme.com. We're pretty active on like TikTok, IG, all the things. So find us, follow us, comment with us.
Comment and follow Mishi Fishy.
Yes. Follow our girl. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.